Now in section 3.4, we return to the question of syllables in Biblical Hebrew. We've already discussed how a word is divided into syllables and the idea of stress. While Hebrew words are most commonly stressed on their final syllable, this isn't always the case. And when the stressed syllable moves to a different spot, not the end of the word, that can impact both how a word is formed and the vowels that are used in that word. There are two different terminologies in common use to discuss Hebrew syllables. And since both of them are commonly used in secondary literature written about the text of the Old Testament, each of them needs to be introduced and understood. The first system is the system of tonic, pretonic, and propretonic. In this system, the accented syllable of a word is termed the tonic syllable. The pretonic syllable, unsurprisingly, is the syllable that precedes that accented syllable, and the propretonic syllable is the syllable that precedes the pretonic syllable. So for instance, in the verb tim, you will note that there are in fact three syllables, k with a vocal schwa, ra, an open syllable, and tim, a closed syllable. In this case, because no stress is marked differently, we know that the stress is in fact on the last syllable. That last syllable would be called the tonic. The ra is the pretonic syllable, and k is the propretonic syllable. The second system uses the term ultima, penultima, and antepenultima. In this system, the last syllable of a word, the final syllable, is termed the ultima, the last. The next to last, the penultima. And the one before that, the antepenultima. So again, with the Hebrew verb tim, you would have three syllables. The ultima would be tim. The penultima would be ra. And the antepenultima would be k. The first system, then, is actually naming syllables based on their position relative to the word's accent. The second system is naming the syllables based on their position in the word. Now, for many words, because the accent is the final syllable, that will be the same. For instance, again, tim. Tim is both the tonic syllable and the ultima. Ra is then pretonic and penultima, and k is propretonic and antepenultima. However, if the stressed syllable is not the last syllable of the word, the systems will diverge in where the labels fall. For instance, the Hebrew tuval yahu is a word with four syllables. Tuval yahu. Because the ultima is the last syllable of the word, hu is the ultima, ya is the penultima, and val is the antepenultima. But with the stress, you notice, being on ya, ya is the tonic, val is the pretonic, and t is the propretonic. Similarly, consider Hebrew na tata that we have looked at in our verbal system. Three syllables, na tata. In this case, ta would be the ultima, ta here would be the penultima, and na would be the antepenultima syllable. On the other hand, if I were to use the tonic, pretonic, propretonic system, Ta is the tonic. Na is the pretonic. And there, in fact, is no propretonic syllable in this word. Again, both of these systems are in use when people write about the Hebrew Bible's text. For that reason, then, you need to understand what each of them means.